Address of Colonel John B. Hale. At 10 o'clock, the meeting was called to order by Colonel John B. Hale, the President, who, after prayer by the Reverend J. H. Pritchett, opened the proceedings with the following address. Ladies and gentlemen, the preliminaries having been all satisfactorily arranged, the debate between the two distinguished divines now present as representatives of the Methodist and Baptist denominations respectively, will be opened in a few minutes by Dr. Graves, who will maintain the affirmative of the first proposition, which reads as follows. Immersion in water is the act which Christ commanded his apostles to perform for Christian baptism. Dr. Graves's opening speech will be 1 hour long, and at its conclusion, Dr. Ditzler will follow on the opposite side in a speech of the same length. Certain rules of order have been adopted and will be strictly enforced by the moderators, and among other things, all manifestations of approval or disapprobation on the part of the auditory are strictly interdicted. And I am sure this prohibition will be religiously observed by the intelligent assemblies that this interesting occasion will bring together from time to time during the progress of this discussion. And I desire further to state, on the part of the moderators, that in accepting a responsibility which they might have otherwise been reluctant to incur, they have only yielded to a sense of duty, and been influenced by a desire to facilitate and promote the success of a proceeding which they trust may contribute to the furtherance of the cause and interests of truth. A like sentiment, they are persuaded, influences this large and intelligent audience, whose attendance here may be accepted as an expression of their desire to learn, to know, and to practice the truth, thus furnishing a practical exemplification of one of the distinctive characteristics of a true Christian. The rules of order will now be read to you by the Reverend J. H. Pritchett of Fayette. The disputants agree to adopt as rules of decorum those found in Hedges' Logic, page 159, to wit, Rule 1. The terms in which the question in debate is expressed and the point at issue should be clearly defined, that there could be no misunderstanding respecting them. Rule 2. The parties should mutually consider each other as standing on a footing of equality in respect to the subject in debate. Each should regard the other as possessing equal talents, knowledge, and a desire for truth with himself, and that it is possible, therefore, that he may be in the wrong and his adversary in the right. Rule 3. All expressions which are unmeaning or without effect in regard to the subject in debate should be strictly avoided. Rule 4. Personal reflections on an adversary should in no instance be indulged. Rule 5. The consequences of any doctrine are not to be charged on him who maintains it, unless he expressly avows them. Rule 6. As truth, and not victory, is the professed object of controversy, whatever proofs may be advanced on either side should be examined with fairness and candor, and any attempt to answer an adversary by acts of sophistry, or to lessen the force of his reasoning by wit, cavilling, or ridicule, is a violation of the rules of honorable controversy. Signed, J. R. Graves and J. Ditzler. The rules of order having been read, Colonel Hale proceeded. It may be proper for me to say that by the mutual agreement of the disputants, the opening statements on either side will be read. Now, if in acting out a new and unaccustomed role, I should betray any nervous trepidation, you will make for me the apology pleaded by the young preacher in like circumstances. I am not used to it. Custom and habit have not yet inured me to so severe a test on my modesty.